a happy, finally, Friday to you and a good morning. Thanks for joining us for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel. In for Dan Kuntz for one more time around. I'm Eric Granstrom. And man, look at that behind me. Holy cow, it's like somebody painted this picture here today. And our air quality is fantastic. Getting ready for a gorgeous weekend, a chance to get out and breathe some fresh air. Speaking of breathing, hopefully you're breathing fresh air with your coworkers and whomever you might be within close contact with. That has to do with our national holiday today. Also coming up here on the show, of course, we've got the latest in the news. We've got your weather. We've got sports. Also, a little bit later on today, I will air the interview I did a couple of weeks ago during the training camp for the Wenatchee Wild with Bliss Littler, the general manager, and Chris Clark, the head coach. So be sure and tune in for that here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Before we get to the cameras, before we get to the weather, before we get to anything else, I had to share this. Yesterday was my bonus son, Taylor's birthday. Now, yesterday as well, my other bonus son, Trent, here he is. He's a crazy man. It's official. This is Marion's oldest boy. He is aside from crazy, he's an adventuresome person. That's for sure. He's on top of a wing of a biplane here, and it's upside down, and he's standing on top of it, and he's got no parachute on, by the way. Yeah, this he did this in Southwest Washington. I think this was yesterday that he did this. Trent Tresh he's going to be in space at some point in his life. He's working at Biosphere 2 down in Arizona. He was just recently on a trip out of Honduras where he was in a submarine 2,000 feet below the surface, tagging 6-gill shark for a research project, and now he's standing on top of a biplane with no parachute, upside down over Puget Sound. That makes me, I can't even look down from my chair, my stool that I'm on right now and not get nervous. That just doesn't work for me. All right, let's take a beautiful day in Western Washington yesterday for that. So that was probably quite breathtaking. No, thank you. Let's see what's happening around the valley as far as our Valley View cameras this morning. First of all, look at this picture here of the Wenatchee Valley. It looks fake. Almost, besides the camel humps in the lower left corner. This is from our cross camera up on top of Wenatchee Heights. Thanks to Sky-Fi Wireless Network and LocalTel for providing us these Valley View cameras this morning. We do have, if you look up the top of the screen there, you see those high cirrus type clouds that look like they're windswept. Well, yeah, that's because they are. And that wind aloft is going to come down deck level later on today, give us very gusty winds. It really didn't materialize much yesterday, but they are expecting that wind to hit us today. Much cooler temperatures. We'll tell you more about that with our forecast. But a good morning to Wenatchee, East Wenatchee, Sunny Slope. Hello, Wenatchee Valley. That's camera 1 this morning. Camera 2 will take us to, drumroll please. Oh, that's pretty. I can't even tell what that is. Are we looking, where are we, Megan? Nanapoc, okay, all right. So Coles Corner area, Lake Wenatchee. Boy, look how green that is. What a difference between here in the lower lands and up above. And you can see that camera shaking just a little bit. In fact, it looks like there's a cobweb in front of the camera that's shaking in the breeze this morning. So yeah, higher elevations getting some of that wind this morning. But that looks almost like cool-ish. Maybe in the 70s, 60s this morning up there. So yeah, nice, cool morning. And Nanapoc Ridge. By the way, not too far from there is Lake Wenatchee. And I understand the sockeye salmon fishery that's going on at Lake Wenatchee is on fire. I was reading Dave Graybill, the Fish Magician's report this morning, and everybody's catching limits of sockeye at Lake Wenatchee, so that's kind of fun there. All right, camera 3 will take us to a much different view. Boy, Megan, you keep throwing me camera views I haven't seen. Where are we here? Badger Mountain, looking the other way. Okay, off to the east this morning. And a stretch of power lines going towards the rising sun this morning. And look at that. We can see and we can breathe, and the smoke's not so bad. So let's count our blessings on that one. A very cool weekend for the forecast compared to where we've been here ever since basically summer started back on June 21st. All right, so our camera 4 from LocalTel's Sky-Fi Wireless Network will take us on a look from, is this Billy Goat? Okay, so we're looking down there. You can see the haze with the fire still burning up in north central Washington along the North Cascades Highway, still causing some smoke issues. And although I will say, though, I have seen several photos here the last week or so with those fires burning, and this actually air quality is pretty good compared to where it's been. For the folks in Okanagan County. So you can't see a lot there. Maybe just a little sliver of the Columbia River as you look down from Billy Goat to high above Pateros this morning. And a good morning to our friends in Okanagan County. And maybe, just maybe, the breeze and cooler temperatures will help things out as far as the fires are concerned this morning. In fact, let's take a look at that forecast here from the National Weather Service as we get you through a Friday morning here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Looking at sunny skies again today. Very breezy. The winds gusting 15 to 20 today. Could see some gusts in the 30-mile-an-hour range later on today. 84 are expected high today, so a lot cooler than yesterday. In fact, yesterday's high, I think we got up to 91, so we're almost 10 degrees cooler from one day to the next. We'll see partly cloudy skies overnight tonight to low down to 64. The winds continuing tonight, still gusting up to 30 miles an hour. So if you had a garbage day today, be sure and grab that garbage can, or else it'll be in the neighbor's yard by Saturday morning. As far as Saturday is concerned, sunny skies, 85, 86 right in there for the high. So very pleasant weather this weekend. And the winds not nearly as bad tomorrow as what we're looking at today as far as the forecast is concerned. As we get through the end of the weekend, another sunny day on Sunday with the mostly sunny skies, but cooler, 78 for the high on Sunday. Boy, I'll tell you, there's going to be a ton of people that will be out on the Loop Trail and enjoying our splendid weather on Sunday, because here we go, warming back and getting just downright sticky hot by the middle of next week. As we get into Monday, sunny and 90, 97 on Tuesday, 102 on Wednesday, 105 on Thursday. Yeah, so a very brief reprieve from the hot weather this weekend with the temperatures in the upper 70s on Sunday. So enjoy that. 91 was our official high yesterday in Wenatchee, 68 the overnight low. Record high temperature today was set back in 1972 of 103 degrees. The record low was 50 in 2002. Our normal for this time of year, we're at 89 for the high and 63 for the low. So this weekend kind of getting back to normal as far as that's concerned. Sun rose this morning at 5:46. It'll set tonight at 8:27. Rise tomorrow morning at 5:47 and set at 8:25. So again, losing a couple of minutes of daylight each day as we get through summer. We'll take a break here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Currently 72 in downtown Wenatchee outside our studios of the NCW Life Channel. We'll take a break and come back with more Wake Up Wenatchee Valley and your latest local news coming up next.
Kids are resilient. I just love their energy. They bounce back so quickly. I love the stories they tell. I love just their charisma, their character. I love to see that subtle smile that you pull out of a kid, you know, when you start talking with them about something they really like. I just love what I do, and I can't imagine I would be as happy doing anything else.
What you're doing is ridiculous.
Well,
I mean, you might as well throw up a screen door to block the summer smoke.
sometimes it gets
When we
warm.
breathe in the wildfire smoke, we are ingesting hazardous chemicals such as acetic acid and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. A lot of bad stuff, okay?
Well, yeah, that's why we...
Cardboard ain't gonna cut it.
So...
Go to chelanpud.org/save today.
9 minutes past the hour here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley for a Finally Friday. For Dan Coots, I'm Eric Granstrom, looking at sunny skies, breezy conditions today, much cooler. Currently 72 in downtown Wenatchee with your latest local news. A 39-year-old Tompkinish man died Tuesday after falling from the Beverly Railroad Bridge, where he was a worker on a project to restore the old bridge. The Kittitas County Sheriff's Office said Gabriel Zelaya was part of a contracted crew replacing concrete decking on the bridge when he somehow fell and landed on an island in the Columbia River. A Grant County PUD boat was used to transport medics to the island, but Zelaya died before he could be airlifted. The Kittitas County Sheriff's is investigating the accident along with the State Department of Labor and Industries. The bridge restoration project, by the way, near Vantage, is part of the Palouse to Cascades trail system. The decking on the bridge was destroyed in a 2014 fire. Well, speaking of fires, the Mole Canyon fire about 10 miles northwest of Entiat had burned about 75 acres by yesterday morning. The fire broke out Tuesday evening during a lightning storm. Thus far, there have been no evacuation warnings issued. Helicopters and scoopers are assisting ground crews in fighting that fire, which is burning in grass, timber, and slash in steep, rugged terrain. A state incident management team has assumed control of that firefighting effort. Well, the Chelan County Sheriff's Office is looking for a man they say stole a vehicle from a business in the Wenatchee area. A surveillance video shows the man unlawfully inside the business shortly before the vehicle left. The Sheriff's Office says the man stole contents from inside the vehicle, damaged it, then abandoned it in Malaga. Anyone with information on the suspect is asked to call the Chelan County Sheriff's Office. Excuse me, 2 men will serve prison time, for a shooting death December 23rd in Wenatchee. My apologies. 26-year-old Brendan Kane Ripper of East Wenatchee pleaded guilty Wednesday to first-degree manslaughter in the death of Jesus Manuel Garcia, who was shot and killed in an Idaho Street apartment. Judge Travis Brandt sentenced Ripper to 8 years. 47-year-old Shane Earl Hagan of Wenatchee pleaded to second-degree manslaughter and received 2.5 years. The 2 men went to the apartment to retrieve items belonging to Hagan's daughter after Garcia behaved threateningly toward her. All 3 men were armed with handguns. In the ensuing gunfire, Ripper fatally shot Garcia and Hagan was wounded in the leg. Prosecutors initially charged them with second-degree murder, but said it would be hard to prove they went to the apartment intending to kill Garcia. A Yakima man who committed a string of home burglaries around the Wenatchee Valley, including one in which he crawled through a pet door, has been sentenced to 18 years of confinement. 30-year-old Cameron Michael Darnell broke into multiple houses in Wenatchee, Cashmere, and elsewhere back in October 2019, getting away with firearms and other goods. His sentence was increased by a mandatory 5 years because he was armed during the break-ins. Darnell pleaded guilty in Chelan County Superior Court yesterday to 4 felony counts. He is the son of former East Wenatchee police detective. His partner in the thefts, 43-year-old Scott Joseph Paul of Moses Lake, pleaded guilty to 2 counts of burglary. He'll face 2 to 3 years in prison when he is sentenced next week. Well, a Malaga woman who worked for 10 years as a bookkeeper for an excavation company allegedly stole more than $39,000 from her employers. 36-year-old Tricia Leanne Bittner is charged in Douglas County with 4 counts of first-degree identity theft and 1 in the second degree. Douglas County Sheriff's deputies say as accountant for the Rock Island Company, she bought thousands of dollars worth of furniture and gasoline using corporate credit cards, paid off her own debts with company money, and diverted cash from business accounts. Bittner was charged by summons on Tuesday and must appear in court by August 16th. Well, more than 2,000 acres of private wildlife preserve are now in the hands of the Chelan Douglas Land Trust. The nonprofit agency has acquired 2,100 acres of coulee country just south of Chelan. It will be named Chelan Coulees Reserve and managed with an emphasis on fire safety, wetland preservation, adaptation to climate change, and habitat for wildlife. For 50 years, the property on the backside of Bear Mountain Ranch was managed as a private wildlife reserve by the late Jerry Schofield, who died in 2014. Rio Tinto Mining Company, which is conducting environmental cleanup at nearby Holden Mine, donated funds for the land purchase. That's a look at news here this morning as of 14 minutes past the hour. Of course, more coming up tonight with the NCW Life Evening News with, I believe Jefferson Robbins will be filling in for Grant Olson, but Grant has a preview for us. Grant?
Good Friday morning, Eric. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, we'll have the latest information on area wildfires. Much cooler weather is on the way. All the details in your complete North Central Washington weather forecast. And in sports, Eric, he'll have more on the Mariners and Yankees, Apple Sox results, and all things Seahawks. That and all the day's news stories coming up tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope to see you then. Eric?
Thank you much, Grant. Looking for more information from you, and you can help us out as far as a news tip or a breaking news story, or maybe if you see smoke in the air, let us know about it here at the NCW Life Channel studios. You can reach us via phone at 888-NCWL. That's 888-6295. You can also email us, news@ncwlife.com, or you can just go through Facebook and look us up, just NCW Life, and hopefully you'll like us and follow us while you're there. But you can send us a message directly through Facebook as well. We'll take a quick break here on Wake Up with Wenatchee Valley for a Friday. Yeah, Friday. I don't know if I'm foot or horseback today. But a Friday edition of Wake Up with Wenatchee Valley continues next with sports, obscure holiday, also this day in history, and much more. It's right here on Wake Up with Wenatchee Valley.
Yippee skippy, it's Collins Summer Sale. Look for our red tag on shorts, capris, ankle pants, tanks, tees, dresses, handbags, wallets, jewelry, sandals, etc. Savings up to 50% off on selected merchandise. Brands like Joseph Ribkoff, Frank Lyman, Not Your Daughter's Jeans, Cut, French Dressing, Tribal, Nellie Millie, Fly London, and Soft Sandals. Selected retired handbags from Brighton, Lotus, and Joseph Ribkoff. Come in soon for the best selection at Collins, where fun meets fashion in downtown Wenatchee.
Boating in the Wenatchee Valley starts at Bob File Boats and Motors. See their full line of Crown Line boats. Crown Line features the Forte gel coat, which perfectly accentuates the sporty silhouette of this boat. Its contours are further enhanced by Crown Line's patented fast tab hull design, which not only embraces the distinctive sports car styling, but also ensures a safe and comfortable ride. See Crown Line boats at Bob File Boats and Motors on Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee or online at bobfile.com.
Bob File Boats and Motors, we're dealing. Bob File's gonna make you smile.
17 minutes past the hour and 72 degrees in downtown Wenatchee, reaching for highs in the 80s today with very windy conditions this afternoon. In for Dan Kuntz on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, I'm Eric Granstrom with sports news. Well, the Apple Sox seem to be taking a page from the Seattle Mariners this year. No matter how far behind they get, they never give up. Such was the case last night. They trailed Port Angeles at one point 8-1 in the ballgame, became all the way back and won at 11-10 to complete the three-game sweep. We get more on the story and some highlights from the radio voice of the Apple Sox, Joel Norman.
Wenatchee Apple Sox swept away the Port Angeles Lefties with a come-from-behind 11-10 victory last night at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. Wenatchee was trailing by 7 runs going into the bottom of the 5th, but would score in each of the next 4 innings to pick up the Wild victory.
The 92nd of the evening coming up. 3-2. Villegas skies this out to right field. This one is back, and that one is gone. 2-run homer for Colin Villegas, his 3rd of the season, but his 1st in a West Coast League ballgame. That wasn't even the best swing we've seen from him this year, and that says a lot about his power. Going the opposite way into the jet stream, it's an Oppo Taco for Colin Villegas.
A 2-2 comes cooked, and Guerrero slides it out to right field high in the air, backing up Matthews on the track at the wall, and that escapes the park as Guerrero claps his hands with a home run to make it 8-4 Wenatchee. Did the wind carry that one, or was that a little bit of both?
Take a look at the flag, and you tell me, Riley. I think if you're watching right now on PlaySite.com, you can tell a little bit of wind aided to that one, but regardless, the second home run of the game.
That marks 3 consecutive games in which the Apple Sox trailed going into the 7th inning and would come back to win each and every one of those games. They sweep away the Port Angeles Lefties for their first sweep of the season in West Coast League play. Now they've got Hawaiian Night coming up on Friday as they take on the Cowlitz Black Bears at 6:35 here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. And with your Apple Sox update, I'm Joel Norman.
Thank you much, Joel. Jared Ingeman, by the way, worked an inning and a third of relief to get the win last night on the mound for the Apple Sox. As Joel mentioned, they'll take on Cowlitz, and we'll have that game live here on the NCW Life channel. Be sure and join us for our pregame tonight, 6:30, right here on your home of the Apple Sox on TV, the NCW Life channel. Again, 6:30 for our pregame. Cowlitz and Wenatchee. Other West Coast League play, Colin Montez's 2-run double highlighted a 6-run second inning for the Bend Elks as they sweep Walla Walla 12-6. Corvallis completed a 3-game sweep of Yakima Valley as Nate Nankeel's RBI single in the bottom of the 8th broke a 4-4 tie, gave Corvallis a 5-4 victory. Ridgefield salvaged the final game of its 3-game series with Cowlitz, winning 5-2. Isaac Lovings went deep for the Bears in that win. And in Portland, the Pickles walked off in 11 innings against Bellingham on a dropped third strike that allowed Leo Mosby to score from third base with the winning run. Bellingham remains a half game behind Yacobo Valley in the North Division second half standings, while Wenatchee is 3 games back. Ridgefield, Cowlitz, and Bend are all tied for second, 4 games behind Corvallis in the South. As we mentioned, Wenatchee hosts Cowlitz tonight, while Portland is at Bend. Yakima Valley visits Port Angeles. Bellingham's got a non-league game against Highline. Cascade Collegiate is at Walla Walla, and Corvallis entertains Ridgefield. Well, one of the Yankees' newest additions certainly came through in the clutch last night against the Mariners. Joey Gallo hit a 3-run home run in the bottom of the 7th. That was the difference. Yankees beat the Mariners 5-3 the final. The back-and-forth game saw 4 lead changes as Kyle Seager broke a 1-1 tie in the top of the 3rd.
Dickey also wore number 8. Dickey won 7 World Series. Did it? Judge is saying he did. If it's fair, it's gone, and it is a fair ball and a home run. Kyle Seager going deep in the Bronx to put the Mariners in front. Only the 2nd home run Cortez has allowed this year.
Both of them to left-handed hitters. And Kyle has been hitting the ball out of the ballpark. Last 11 games, that's 5 home runs for him.
Yeah, it's a very short porch in right field of Yankee Stadium, and that would come to play as the game continued, including the home run by Jared Kelenic in the top of the 7th.
They could just simplified things.
Well, this is cranked out to right field. Does it have enough? It is just over the wall and gone. A 7th inning go-ahead blast by Jared Kelenic. He's a long way from Waukesha. He's in the big city, and he's put the Mariners in front.
Aaron, did I mention I like the adjustments he's made? His second hit of the ball game. You can see this starting to happen over the last couple of weeks. Taking advantage of that short porch in right, 343 feet, but he doesn't care. His 5th home run.
So the Mariners are clinging to a 3-2 lead, bottom of the 7th, 2 out. Paul Sewald on in relief for Seattle, facing Joey Gallo, and, well, that short porch would come into play again. He would find a home run.
Judge at 3rd, Stanton at 1st, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th, 3-2 Seattle. High fly ball, down the line, Haniger on the track, at the wall, see ya! Joey Gallo's signature Yankee moment. A 3-run home run. His first blast as a Yankee, and it gives them a 5-3 lead.
Yeah, Yankees would hold on for the 5-3 win, giving the Mariners their 3rd, or make that 2nd straight loss. Manager Scott Service was certainly not disappointed with how his team played.
Really good ball game tonight. I thought we were in a great spot trying to hang on to that thing. I just got to give them credit. They put some good at bats on us there in the 7th inning. But Tyler Anderson did a nice job. Good job situational pitching. He had some traffic out there. He was able to work through it. Just gave up a couple runs and did his job. Kept them right there, giving us a chance to get on top. After he left the game, I thought Miz threw the ball really good, got out of a tough jam there, and Paul Sewald's really been fantastic. He's had some kind of season. And, you have to give those guys credit. They threw some good at bats on him. Judge gets a 3-2 single. Stanton gets a count to 3-2. He gets a single. And, Gallo had a big night, obviously, and he hits a 315-foot pop-up that ends up in the seats here. So, offensively for us tonight, big night. I thought Kelenic had a really good at bats all night long. JP, I thought we were, again, right in there. Against a very good bullpen. They've got guys with a ton of experience over there and good stuff. And even at the end, Mitch puts a heck of a swing on a 3-1 slider off Chapman. And, you need a few breaks in this game. And we certainly didn't get a whole lot of them tonight, but played well. We'll come back and get them tomorrow.
Yep, they play again today. It's a 4:05 game time with Marco Gonzalez on the mound, former Apple Sock, hoping for better luck in New York. He'll go up against Wandy Peralta for the Yankees. In other American League West action, Dylan Bundy had his best outing of the season, pitching 6 1/3 innings of 3-hit shutout ball. helped the Angels shut out the Rangers 5-0. Adam Eaton was 2 for 4 with a home run in the win for L.A. Minnesota scored 4 runs in the second inning and went on for a 5-4 win over Houston. The Astros lead in the West is now 4 games over Oakland. Mariners trail the A's by 3.5 games in the wild card race. That's a look at sports news. Don't forget, coming up a little bit later on here this morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, we'll visit with Bliss Littler, the general manager for the Wenatchee Wild, as well as head coach Chris Clark. They were available for during their training camp here a couple weeks ago. I was able to get in and get an interview. So some of the information might be a little dated, but we're talking just generally getting hockey back here in the Wenatchee Valley and in the BCHL. That'll be coming up later on this morning here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. At 25 minutes past the hour, the obscure holiday of the day today is talking about fresh breath. It's National Fresh Breath Day. And both man and woman have been worried about fresh breath. Well, they say that there were maybe mints or something that folks put in their mouths back in 2500 BC or 2700 BC. Dating situation, job interview, working closely with others, just making sure your breath is not awful. And better than that, fresh. In fact, just before I started the show today, I brushed my teeth so I come out here and have a pretty smile and fresh breath. And not that it matters for you because we don't have scratch and sniff TV, but I'm a person, you know, the biggest things they say to help you with fresh breath and to help you on this National Fresh Breath Day is to visit your dentist regularly. Now, my wife will tell you I'm a big baby, and I went a long time without visiting the dentist. But last month, July, went and saw our dentist, and got the whole thing done. Got X-rays, got the the whole mouth cleaning, the plaque and the pick and the thing and the stuff, and the dentist actually said, actually for a person that hasn't been to a dentist in, I'm afraid to admit it, 15 years, he said, things are actually in pretty good shape. Now they got to go in and fix a crown that broke and do some work coming up here in a few weeks in August. But getting to your dentist, that's one thing. Brushing your teeth after every meal, that's another way you can keep your breath fresh. You can pop in some mints or some chewing gum, things like that, and just drinking water. I didn't realize this, that plaque is created by your own saliva in your mouth. I didn't know that. And plaque can actually cause you to have halitosis or bad breath. So if you keep your mouth clean and keep as dry as possible, some people drool at night. The pillow's a sopping wet mess by the end of the night. I mean, you can't help that. But get up in the morning, drink some water, brush your teeth, and things will be a lot better. So happy National Fresh Breath Day. Go up and breathe on somebody and prove to them that you have fresh breath. Well, we go from one extreme to the other when we take a look at this day in history. From fresh breath to just a horrific situation in World War II. Today is the anniversary of the dropping of the bomb on Hiroshima. Happened on this date in 1945. The United States becomes the first and only nation to use atomic weaponry during wartime. When it drops an atomic bomb on the Japanese city of Hiroshima, approximately 80,000 people were killed as a direct result of the blast. Another 35,000 are injured. Another 60,000 would die by the end of the year because of the fallout. Now, 3 days later, another bomb was dropped on the city of Nagasaki, killing 40,000 people. In that few days, the Japanese announced its surrender. But on this date in 1945, the dropping of the bomb on Hiroshima. It was on this date in 1930. I'd never heard of this until I did the research here today about this guy right here. New York Supreme Court Judge Joseph Force Crater vanished on the streets of Manhattan near Times Square. The dapper 41-year-old's disappearance launched a massive investigation that captivated the nation, earning Crater the title the missingest man in New York. April 1930, Governor Franklin Roosevelt appointed Crater to the state bench, passing over the official candidate put forth by the powerful and corrupt Tammany Hall political machine. Now, rumors swirled that Crater, whose alleged fondness for showgirls had already earned him a shady reputation, had paid off the Tammany bosses for his lucrative new job. A few months later, Crater returned to New York from a trip to Maine, leaving behind his wife, Stella, and promising to return within a week. His law clerk later reported that on the morning of August 6th, the judge destroyed various documents, moved several portfolios of papers to his Fifth Avenue apartment, and arranged for $5,000 to be withdrawn from his bank account. That evening, he left his office, bought a ticket to the Broadway comedy Dancing Partner, and shared a meal with his lawyer friend William Klein and a showgirl named Sally Lou Ritz at a Manhattan clubhouse. Chop House, that is. His dining companies claimed they last saw Crater walking down the street outside the restaurant, presumably on his way to attend the play. News of Crater's disappearance broke on September 3rd, triggering a dramatic manhunt and investigation. Missing judge's suspicious behavior in the days leading up to his disappearance spawned rampant speculation that he had fled the country with a mistress or had been victim of foul play. His sensational story captured so much media attention that the phrase "pulling a Crater" briefly entered the public vernacular as a synonym for going AWOL. There you go, the story of the guy I'd never heard of until I did the research today. Also on this date, 1926, on her second attempt, 19-year-old Gertrude Ederle becomes the first woman to swim the 21 miles from Dover, England, and Cape Grisnez across the English Channel, which separates Great Britain from the northwest tip of France. This is 1926. Look at that. She's built. And yeah, she could swim it. 19-year-old Gertrude Ederle swam the English Channel on her second attempt on this date in 1926. Of course, celebrating our class reunion for the Cedar Woolley High School class of 1986 this weekend. There we go. Pretty proud of some things that we did at Cedar Woolley High School back when I was a senior in 1985-86. We started a new tradition with the spirit stick. There you see the stick there. That would appear at assemblies we'd have. It would go up in the crowd, and your job as a class, we would separate the gymnasium into classes, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. Your job as the class was to toss that spirit stick around and not drop it to show which class had the most spirit. We also were the first ever Natural Helpers group over our senior year, using students to help other students get through teen angst and troubles. That's some of the shots from our Natural Helpers camp that happened the summer before my senior year, and there you see me down at the bottom wearing the uniform. Another thing we started with assemblies, instead of trying to holler at everybody to be quiet to start the assembly, we started the new tradition of just raising your hand until everybody was quiet, and then we could begin. One final picture here before we get to my reunion this weekend for the 1986 class from Cedar Woolley High School. There I am with my ASB buddies. I was in student government. Janelle Keller is to my left on that picture, to the right as you see it. Sean McIntyre on the bottom next to Damaris Hibden, Doomer, we called her. Cheryl Melton and Beth Ann Sirian all there. And I think quite a few of those folks are going to be at the reunion this weekend. So looking forward to seeing everybody. All right, famous birthdays today. Oh, we all loved Lucy, didn't we? Lucille Ball was born on this date in 1911. Of course, the star of I Love Lucy, the Lucy Desi Comedy Hour, the Lucy Show, Here's Lucy, and Life with Lucy. She was about the most powerful redhead of all time, I would say. Lucy Ball died of a heart attack at the age of 77 in 1989. But Lucille Ball was born on this date in 1911. Second wife of President Theodore Roosevelt, also born on this date in 1861, Edith Roosevelt. She was a sharp-looking woman. She was, of course, the First Lady of the United States during his presidency from 1901 to 1909. Under Edith's direction, the White House was modernized and living quarters first separated from offices. The new West Wing was unveiled in 1903. She lived until she was 87 years young, passed away in 1948. But Edith Roosevelt, born on this date in 1861. Also, 1972, we're celebrating the 48th birthday of Ginger Spice. Jerry Horner, or Jerry Halliwell, as she's better known. I didn't know the Spice Girls. The most successful girl band of all time. 85 million records sold. Really? Wow. Yeah, Ginger Spice celebrating her 48th birthday today. So two very noble women and then one pop star. There you go. Oh, by the way, before we get out of this and get to Mike Magnotti, our neighbors had a baby last night. Congratulations and welcome to Madden J. Hughie, 6 pounds, 12 ounces, 21 inches, born to the Hugies last night, overnight at Center Washington Hospital. So happy birthday to the youngster and congratulations to our neighbors. We're going to, well, morning slurp. Yeah, thank you. I didn't do this yesterday. I don't know why. I just forgot. I kind of get tired doing these things for Dan. But if you have your cup this morning, let's get a morning slurp because it is a Friday. We got the weekend ahead of us. It's going to be a gorgeous weather weekend. A little breezy today, but grab your cup. Let's join together with a morning slurp here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Oh, yeah. See, now thank you for that reminder, Megan. I appreciate that. Coming up, Mike Magnotti with his opinion and my visit with Bliss Littler, Chris Clark, talking Wild Hockey right here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Thanks for watching.
Are you ready to freshen up your home? Boswell's expansive 2-story showroom is filled with high-quality furniture that's always discounted to give you their best price every day. Boswell's is receiving new furniture deliveries each week, so you'll be sure to find just what you need for your home without the wait. Complimentary design assistance and free local delivery. Superior customer service and the best value for your money. Start at Boswell's on Easy Street. It's closer than you think.
My name is Brian Thorpe. I own Global Car Care in Wenatchee and have been here for about 25 years.
Brian started Global Car Care as Brian's automotive alternative on Orondo Street.
Some customers were following Brian since Brian's automotive time.
No, we're just grateful to be part of this community. This is where I grew up. We want to do our part to be a valuable part of this community. We want to thank you for trusting our business for 25 years.
Hi, I'm Chuck Dronan, Managing Member at Eplodolin Retirement and Assisted Living. It's been a tough year for all of us, but especially for those working and living in senior care facilities. Over the course of these many difficult months, our staff at Eplodolin has been vigilant in adhering to federal and state guidelines to protect and assure the safety of our residents and their caregivers. If you're in need of assisted living for a loved one, give us a call at Eplodolin. We're here for you.
Homeward bound, I wish I was homeward bound. Home, where my thoughts escaping. Home, where my music's playing. Home, where my love lies waiting silently for me. Silently for me.
Things have changed in the motorsports industry. Short supply and high demand have emptied showrooms. But what hasn't changed are the experts at Doghouse Motorsports. They are here to help you reserve the machine of your choice. Stop by and check out the latest 2022 Husqvarna motorcycles, UBCO, and Intense electric vehicles, and other new additions to the Doghouse Motorsports family of high-quality products.
Over the last year and a half, the industry has absolutely changed, but the Doghouse is still your best option for all your power sports needs.
At D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee, they believe your investment success begins with a personalized plan. A plan that is the roadmap you need to navigate your way to living your best years in retirement. D.A. Davidson can help you create a plan so you can take the time to enjoy the finer things in life. Let the financial advisors at D.A. Davidson help chart your retirement future today.
This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I've seen and been noticing lately that a lot of radio ads include required information such as warning, legal notices, etc. Now, sure, this info is presented as apparently the law requires, but this required info is placed at the beginning of the ad, and it's presented by someone talking so fast, you really don't understand what they're saying. Okay, so you really miss the required warnings. Now, if an advertiser takes this approach, it just makes me think that you're trying to hide something. And if that's the case, why would I buy or use their product? This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Hey
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills in Manson, where we've got huge news. We've started our Blueberry U-Pick. It's a great time to toss the family in the car and get on out to Blueberry Hills, where you can get the best down-home scratch country cooking around and pick some of the world's most delicious and largest blueberries that have been high desert farmed. This makes for an intense blueberry flavor, and they are so much fun to pick. Our fields are open 8 to 2:30 daily and restaurant from 8 to 3, so come on out and join us.
The 2021 Grant County Fair is happening August 17th through the 21st in Moses Lake. Check out the biggest ag-based fair in Washington State as kids show hundreds of animals. Or check out some of the more famous cuisine, such as Space Burgers or Block 40 ice cream. Friday night features country sensation Parmalee on the Brian Miller stage. Saturday, check out Grupo Control. Lots of music, food, animals, and of course, a huge carnival. Head to the website at gcfairgrounds.com.
Green Motion e-bikes have rolled into Wenatchee. We've got fun, affordable e-bikes for the whole family. Portable e-bikes that fit right in the trunk of your car. Fat tire mountain bikes plus unique vintage style bikes you won't find anywhere else. Get some exercise with pedal assist or just cruise up to 20 miles per hour with the throttle. Starting under $1,000, Green Motion e-bikes are affordable fun for the whole family.
Introducing Alpine Airman. Because every home needs a superhero to eliminate poor indoor air quality, send inefficient operating equipment packing, and cut high energy bills down to size. For heating or cooling and equipment replacement, turn to the experts and the superheroes at Carrier and Alpine Air. We offer the best deals on high-efficiency Carrier products, along with friendly, knowledgeable service and incredible savings to fit your budget.
Well, the world is right once again. We've got ice in the arena. We got hockey players in town. Bliss Littler joining us here with the Wenatchee Wild on the NCW Life Channel. Bliss, I did the math. Well, I had the computer help me do the math. Between March 6th, our last playoff game, and our first regular season game, 589 days. My first question for you is, how does an organization stay afloat during something like that?
Well, two things. One, David White, owner. I mean, obviously we didn't lay anybody off. We had 14 full-time employees. We kept everybody employed.
That's incredible.
When our players left the Monday of Thanksgiving, obviously we had no home games. But when our players left, I talked to David White. I said, well, how do you want me to handle staff? And he said, it's not their fault. And he said, give them an opportunity to earn their paycheck. I don't want people sitting around doing Facebook, but all those little projects, things that if you wanted to do in the past, give everybody an opportunity. And that and all the corporate sponsors and season ticket holders, that they were all told, hey, we'll give you 100% a full refund right now, or if you want to roll it over, we can roll it over. And there are a decent amount that just rolled things over.
And that says a lot, too, because those businesses, it was hard on them, too.
Oh, there were. And there were several corporate sponsors that said, do you have to lay everybody off? We said, we're not going to. And they said, hey, you know what? Keep it. We'll sign this contract, move it forward to next year. And there were several that just, caring people out here that I think a lot of people, even if they're not hockey fans, they realize that the Wild are very valuable to the community, that over the first 10 years, when they look back at being the vehicle for youth sports, dance teams, service clubs, that we didn't write the check, but we were the vehicle for them to be able to raise over $1 million. So it's about $100,000 a year that through Chuck-a-Puck, 50-50 and jersey auctions. So I think there are a lot of people that realize that, hey, this is very important to the community.
Besides the projects you talked about and being able to keep staff on, what did that layoff allow you to do from a hockey perspective?
Well, on my end, a lot of that is just it's organizational, where it's working with Coach Clark, Coach Mendelson, and then we had Chris go help the U16 team because they were able to play. We had Lee help the U18 team. So we had those guys doing that, but they watched a whole bunch of video from the leagues that were playing in the United States, and we did a lot of recruiting. We were gone a whole bunch of nights, and we're excited about the group that we're bringing in.
Let's talk about the 80-some kids you have here this week for these 3 days. A lot of work has gone into bringing them here. How do they look so far?
I think good. I think Coach Mendelson is recruiting coordinator. I think Coach Clark is pretty happy with what he sees, especially in the younger guys right now. And the few veterans that we do have, I think we're pretty happy with the condition that they showed up in, their excitement. So overall, again, I think we're pretty happy right now.
So what the good thing, I mean, the great thing about this is that fans can come watch these games, which is fantastic because, I mean, we've been trying to scratch that itch for a long time here, Bliss. What are fans, what can they expect? What are they looking at? And what are you guys looking at?
Well, I really think that the philosophy is the same, that Chris will, follow, he'll have his own touches on things. He's got to be his own guy. He's got to be his own coach. But I think the philosophy about playing fast, making plays, have a disciplined team, have kids that behave off the ice, that get involved in the community, those things, they're not going to change. I know with Chris, he's been here from the start, and he's seen the style of play that we've had for 10 years now, and I don't see that changing.
I got to ask you about the Kraken and the buzz that's happening about that new NHL team in Seattle. I know you have your NHL favorites and alliances and things like that, but I imagine that cannot do anything but positive things for hockey around the state of Washington.
For sure. When you look at the state of California, the state of Texas, state of Arizona, and now the state of Nevada, their youth hockey programs throughout the state have boomed. And we would expect the same thing's going to happen here in the state of Washington, that it's going to be a pretty trendy thing right now. It's going to be cool to have a Kraken jersey, and I think it's all it'll do is it'll give a lot more notoriety to the sport, that once people try it or come watch it, I think people get hooked. I mean, it's a great game to watch live, and I think you'll see that. I think you'll see more youth kids playing, which, as far as the Wenatchee Wild, that's a good thing.
I know they're making stops around the WHL in Spokane and before they start the season with some preseason games. Will we see any of that reach here to the Wild, do you think?
Not in year one.
Yeah.
The reason they're doing that right now is
their ice isn't ready to go.
The rain is not ready, right. And it's part of it. Like Coach Clark has season tickets, and part of the season tickets are the exhibition games. Right. But what we'll probably work with the Town Toyota Center is trying to get a rookie game here between whether it's Vancouver and the Kraken would be great. The Kraken and anybody would be great. So I know they do that up in Penticton in their building, and I think it'd be great for them to come into North Central Washington and work on the fan base here. So we're definitely looking forward to trying to work with them. I know that in other states, the NHL teams have done a great job working with youth hockey associations, and from the sounds of it, that's where they're at right now.
Let's talk about the BCHL doesn't have their preseason schedule out. The regular season's out. We know October 9th is the date that we're looking forward to Penticton coming here. When for games and how many here? Or, fans are just licking their chops to get to see some hockey.
September 30th and October 1st are the only two exhibition games we're getting this year. That people, they didn't want to take the chance on scheduling the exhibition.
Borders and stuff.
Yeah, with the borders. So we're going to be a little short this year with exhibition, but we go up to Trail on September 30th and then over to Cranbrook, the new team, on October 1st, and then we'll be ready to go by the 9th.
Well, Bliss, best of luck this season, and thanks for taking the time to join us.
Super, thank you.
Bliss Littler joining us here talking hockey on the NCW Life channel. Well, something feels really good about the world when we've got ice behind us. We got Chris Clark standing with us, and we got Wild Hockey back again.
It feels like it's been way too long, and you're absolutely right. It feels like everything is right in the world, and it's great to be back out here, that's for sure.
Well, Wild Camp is underway, the training camp that last year it was down in Vegas because this building was not open. COVID, everything else. Let's flush COVID. Let's not even talk about it. Let's talk about the Wenatchee Wild 2021-22 version. What are we looking at?
We're looking at a lot of good players here. We're very excited about the first day of camp so far. Obviously, the one benefit, not to bring COVID back up, but the one benefit was we got to spend a ton of time on the road because we unfortunately couldn't play. So we've done a good job recruiting. We're very happy with the talent we have here, and couldn't be more excited to get going again.
Yeah, talk about that. I mean, that gave you an opportunity to see probably more of the country than you ever thought you would, and more players to have that chance to recruit, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, during the year, you don't get, one of us might be able to get out on the road about once a month. And when everything happened and we had to shut down, Bliss, Lee, myself, we all got to get out on the road. I think I went to 3 different trips. I think Bliss went to like 6, and Lee was somewhere in between that. So we got our eyes on a lot of players and got ourselves in front of a lot of people to talk about our program. And here we are today, and this is kind of the culmination of all that, and very excited about it.
So I know you've already had an event down in Vegas that we talked about, or in Reno. Let's talk about what you guys know about these kids already, and what can they prove over the course of these 3 days?
Well, we've seen all these kids play quite a few times. What is nice now is to get them all in front of each other, because we've seen them all at different events throughout the year. And so you try to have that one camp where you can get everybody that you're heavily recruiting together, and then you kind of put pieces together. It's like a puzzle, right? And so over this 3 days, we're going to see a lot of what we've already seen, but now we're seeing it against like-minded competition or kids that we're all recruiting. And I'm a big believer that competition breeds the best out of everybody, and so the competition is definitely very healthy.
Well, and that's something else that between you and Bliss and Wild Hockey, there's a kind of a brand there that you're looking for, and that's who you recruit, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We want to play fast. We want to get up and down the rink. We want to make a ton of plays. And that's what this group has brought. Obviously, some of these kids we've been recruiting for 2 and 3 years. So to finally have them here now is awesome. And yeah, you're going to see that same in your face. Get up and down the rink, make a ton of plays, create a whole bunch of offense. And when we don't have the puck, we want to be extremely hard to play against.
So I was doing the math. Well, I went online to do the math. I didn't do the math myself. But 589 days between that March 6th last playoff game and the finally dropping the puck in October here. I mean, holy cow. How do you even survive that as a coach, being employed? There's business that didn't happen, all of those things.
Yeah, I mean, obviously one thing you have to do is be very thankful, right? A lot of people aren't as lucky as we are to continue to have our jobs and continue to do what we do, love to do on a daily basis. So the first thing is I'm very grateful, obviously, for our ownership group and Bliss and everybody for keeping all of us and giving us a chance to earn our paycheck. And you know what, at the end of the day, one thing I've learned about COVID is you got to be able to roll with the punches and expect the unexpected, and don't get too high, don't get too low, and just take whatever's given and go with it. And I guess that's kind of been our mantra the whole time, is just let's be ready when they do tell us we're good to go. Let's not make sure that we're playing catch up at that time. Let's make sure we're doing everything in our power so that when we get the green light, we're ready to go, and that's what we are now.
Yeah, and thankfully the border's back open again, so hopefully we're not having to worry about any slide backs on that. But, right out of the gate, your first regular season game against Penticton, it's like, holy cow, we're back to normal.
Yeah, I think that'll be a great night, obviously. Like you said, I didn't know it was that many days, but when you put that number out there, it's definitely been a lot, and no better way to get our feet back wet in the league by playing our biggest rival in the Penticton V's, and that'll be a great test and an exciting atmosphere, I know for sure.
I got to ask you, because you're a big hockey fan, the buzz about the Seattle Kraken and everything, that can't do anything but help hockey here in Washington State, right?
Oh, 100%. I can say firsthand I've seen that, because I never played hockey a day in my life until I went to the first ever Sharks game, and I fell in love with the sport instantly. So we're definitely going to be growing the sport. Hope they have a great year and a great franchise. I think they're doing a lot of good things, and creating the buzz about hockey in the Pacific Northwest is awesome. And Let's hope we see the fruits of that here in about 18 years when some kid that got into hockey because he went to his first ever Kraken game, got skates the next day like I did, and ended up hopefully a lot better player than I was. But nonetheless, I think it's going to do a great job growing the game. I really do. I'm excited for it.
Well, Clarky, thanks for taking the time. I know you got to get to the next round of games here. We appreciate it. Community rink, by the way. The main rink is still storage for a lot of other stuff. We won't talk about that right now. Chris Clark joining us here on the NCW Life Channel. Best of luck this season.
Thank you, and I do want to give a quick shout out to two people very near to my heart. Art Jecker, thinking about you every day, buddy, and I know you're fighting, and the same thing with Don West, thinking about both those guys, two instrumental parts of the Wenatchee Wild franchise that could both use some love and prayers right now, and let them know we're pulling for them.
Absolutely. Yeah, the armies are out there supporting both. They both have GoFundMe pages, by the way. If you want to look them up, they could certainly use that assistance as well. Don West, GoFundMe, and then Art Checker, GoFundMe. And, the battles are still in front of them and a long road to go. So thanks for bringing that up. I appreciate that, Chris.
Yeah, thank you.
You bet. Chris Clark joining us here on the NCW Life Channel.
If you are looking for dependable car service and repair, visit the good guys at Quick Lube and Tune. They've been keeping cars and trucks in the Wenatchee Valley running smooth for 35 years. Quick Lube and Tune is your hometown shop for a 10-minute oil change, complete tune-ups, alignments, brakes, mufflers, air conditioning service, and more. Get more life out of your vehicle by bringing it to the local guys you can trust at Quick Lube and Tune on South Wenatchee Avenue.
Are you a take charge kind of person? Consider a career as a health unit coordinator. You'll work to keep health facilities running efficiently by coordinating medical providers, patients, and departments. The Charter College Certificate in Health Unit Coordinator program can get you up to speed on basic patient care, health records management, health and safety procedures, and medical billing. And the 10-month online program includes a computer you keep. Get started at chartercollege.edu, where we work to get you to work.
You don't have to be a member to enjoy the view and dine in style at Highlander Bar and Grill located at the beautiful Highlander Golf Course in East Wenatchee. Highlander Grill offers breakfast, lunch, and dinner with dine-in or takeout options. Highlander Bar and Grill's friendly staff is here to serve you 7 days a week. Call for reservations Friday night prime rib dinner. Contact Shalane, Highlander Grill's site coordinator, to schedule your corporate event or special occasion today. Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
Couple of minutes left of the program here on a Friday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Thanks again to Bliss Littler and Chris Clark for joining us on the program. And Wenatchee Wild Hockey is back. bchl.ca. You can look up WenatcheeWildHockey.com on the web. Get your tickets. Get out there and support the Wild as they get back to hockey and we get back to normal. And speaking of getting back to normal, our air is getting back to normal here in the Wenatchee Valley anyway. Let's see what's in store for us weather-wise from the National Weather Service today. It's going to be breezy today with the little bit of a cold system moving through the northwest here this weekend. Sunny skies, high temperatures in the 80s today, about 84. We will see the winds kicking up 15 to 20 from the northwest, maybe gusting upwards of 30 miles per hour today. Tonight, winds continuing with partly cloudy skies, lows down to 64. Tomorrow, a little bit warmer, possibly, with the sunshine and the winds not so bad. 86 for our high tomorrow. Look at that. We're going to get lows down into the 50s on Saturday night and Sunday night, with Sunday's high only 78 degrees for the Wenatchee Valley. So enjoy the absolutely gorgeous weekend. As we head into next week, well, here comes the hot weather back again with triple digits maybe by the middle of next week. We're at 73 in downtown Wenatchee. as we wrap up the program here today. Dan will be back on Monday. Tell us about his family reunion. Maybe, maybe not. We'll also, of course, have guests in studio and keep you up to date on what's happening in the news and the weather and so much more right here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Thanks to everybody for watching. Thanks to Megan for great work behind the scenes to make it all happen. And I'm going to go grab a nap. And we'll do it again some other time. But Dan will be back on Monday. So thanks for watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley here for a Finally Friday on the NCW Light Channel. One more morning slurp. Here we go.